What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a banned and restricted announcement, and oh boy, is it a doozy. No, not the fact that maybe potentially your favorite deck is getting banned to the Shadow Realm, but no changes? Hold on, what is this? No changes in all formats. Question, why do we have this ban and restricted announcement even scheduled if nothing's going to change? I understand that typically this ban and restricted announcement is typically going to be for the standard bans. But with that being said, we are so close to rotation. When Bloomburrow comes out, all that nonsense garbage that a lot of people that play standard don't like is going to rotate out, and the Bloomburrow cards will be here, but no bans in any format. But the reason I'm making this a long form video rather than a short is because they do mention a couple of cards in different formats that I wanted to point out. As we take a look at the standard portion, it says right here, we considered banning a few cards. And again, this is in standard. Atraxa Grand Unifier, Knight Errant of Eos being our leading candidates. It's difficult to predict exactly what will happen. After each rotation, we may see these cards break out into other decks and strategies, but we are happy as long as the metagame continues to evolve. Atraxa has been a constant presence in the metagame as a headliner card in the domain ramp strategies, and I love that they're finally starting to point out specific archetypes within each format. I think that kind of transparency is super important for us as players to trust the folks making these decisions. So I just kind of, we point out, we being the Magic the Gathering player base, especially more competitive players, point out when Wizards does something we don't like. I think it is important to point out when they are doing something right, and I do think having transparency, mentioning specific archetypes within formats is super important. So they're mentioning Domain Ramp here and Atraxa Grand Unifier. Now, admittedly, I don't play basically any standard. I do watch some standard footage and some standard content, but I definitely don't play it really ever. So I don't know. I watch the Pro Tour. I watch some content creators, but it says, with rotation, those strategies lose the tri-lands from Streets of New Capenna and will have a difficult time getting Domain, which will in return, make the decks less powerful. Boros Convoke has also been a solid choice on Arena frequently. We are happy with the existence of token aggro decks, but sometimes its opening draws can be too difficult to beat early in the game. Voldaren Epicure, which is crucial, and Knight Errant of Eos, the second turn of the game, casting Gleeful Demolition. So the fact that they're pointing out these two decks as potential problems is something that's on the radar, is a good thing. Both of these cards, though, I believe will be rotating with Bloomburrow. But heading on to the formats that I, and probably you as my viewer, care about more, we have Pioneer. Pioneer, obviously, a thriving format, same as Modern with Modern Horizons 3 coming out. Kind of has had the focus and largely the attention of it on competitive Magic on Modern, as we are about to head into Modern RCQ season as well. So it's important, in my opinion, that they get this banning right, But let's talk about Modern before we jump the shark and not jump the shark, but we jump over to Modern. It says, we are seeing a flood of results and deck lists stream in from the Pioneer RCQs, and it's a mixed bag. The biggest positive we're seeing as a format is overall every macro archetype is viable in the format, and what they mean by that, I believe, is aggro, mid-range, control, and combo. There are decks that represent all of those archetypes. There's the mono-white humans, you have the prowess decks, both flavors, you have the mid-range decks like green, black, and red-black vampires, you have control, Azorius being the most popular, Dimir control as well, and then you have Amalia, and of course, you have Hidden Strings, Lotus combo. And then in the second paragraph here, we have one of the things that you're going to keep a close evolution on is the Amalia combo deck. As a creature combo deck, we are generally positive on it. Unfortunately, its ability to draw the game is a negative play experience, which is quite the sentence, right? Yeah, gaining 100 life, and then if they can't actually kill you with the next draw, and they play their reservoir and just 50 you, it's an issue. The games go along, not great. So I understand where they're coming through. I like this little mini paragraph here. And then it says, we are making no changes to the formats today, as we will still see room for the metagame to shift around the surge of Amalia, and because of RCQ for Pioneer to continue to mid-July, we don't want to disrupt it mid-season. The original championship round starts for Modern is coming up right around the corner. And then we get to Modern, which is probably what everyone is most concerned about, because Modern is the most popular format for competitive players. We have, as we announced previously, there will be no changes to Modern. The Pro Tour, Modern Horizons 3, right around the corner. They don't want to upset it. I get that. However, we go on the very next, this is a reoccurring theme with this announcement. We are very early into the new metagame, although Nadu Winged Wisdom has raised some early concerns. It appears that Modern format has proven the tools to fight it. With its results in Modern Leagues, challenges starting to stabilize over the last few days. The rise of the spell combo Ruby Storm, shout out. I will be playing this on camera for a video, so if you want to watch that, make sure to subscribe. Ruby Medallion and Rouse Monsoon Mage from Modern Horizons 3 is a notable addition to the format that fights Nadu, being typically a full turn faster. Similarly, as it has risen in popularity, so too have the efforts to defeat it. So, interesting enough. They also mention a ton of decks that are seeing play currently, including Eldrazi Tron, Mardu Midrange. They specifically mention a Johnny Noctil Pariah and Sorin House of Markov in those decks. I don't think that this is necessarily saying, oh, these are on our radar. They're just kind of flexing the fact that Modern Horizons 3 is a huge success and has forever changed the metagame in a positive way, I think, at least. And I think they're kind of flexing that. They've got Mono Black, Necro Dominance, Gruul Prowess, Esper's Goryo Vengeance, Izzet Murktide, Azorius Control, Bant Nadu, and Boros Burn, all different decks that have been on the Magic Online Challenge scene, so since Modern Horizons 3. So, awesome. I think I agree with this mostly. You don't want to interrupt right before the Pro Tour. The Pro Tour is already happening pretty close, pretty soon after the set release. So don't want to disturb it too much. However, unfortunately for the viewers and for the people watching the Pro Tour and the people that are wanting to buy into a deck, this Pro Tour is probably not going to be like old Pro Tours where you'll see some random awesome deck be the breakout deck. So that is a kind of, not great, because what a lot of pro players are going to do here is they're going to play it safe and play the decks that they know will do well. So that kind of stinks, but still, I understand the logic. I understand the thought process. Even if I don't necessarily agree with the outcome, I see where they're coming from. Moving on to Legacy and Vintage, they say they approach Legacy similar to Modern. With Modern Horizons 3, it brought major changes to the format, and we're waiting to see how the format responds as the community, gets to test and iterate with MH3, basically. Our next announcement coming in late August is basically when they might pull the trigger on actually banning something. And then Vintage. Overall, Vintage looks healthy. We will continue to manage with the community first thinking, giving us the size and amount of play. So those are all the big formats. We're not going to talk about any of the, specific arena ones like Alchemy, Brawl, Historic, Timeless, or Explorer. They do say that MTG Arena continues to match Explorer cards banned with Pioneer. So that's good. That means eventually we will just have Pioneer. When that will be, we do not know yet. However, overall, I understand it. I get it. Is Amali an issue in Pioneer? Potentially. I went to the NRG just yesterday, the Nerd Rage Championship Series, and I had the funniest life update from my opponent. They go, so you're at 7, I'm at 101. I was able to counter the reservoir, but it was a funny thing. I love Pioneer. Modern is looking and shaking out post MH3 to be a pretty fun format as well, with Nadu really being the only kind of like, what the heck? This card is cracked, obviously. But it seems like, at least in Wizards' mind, the format is adapting to Nadu. So I will trust in them for now. Now, obviously, if Modern becomes complete garbage fire with Nadu, then some changes might be in order. But yeah, overall, no changes. No changes. Spoiler alert. That's the whole video. Those are my thoughts on what we have seen today. Sorry this video took so long to get out. If you like information like this, if you like videos like this, make sure to subscribe. We'll be coming out with more news-based videos such as these. I appreciate you all. And until the next one, we will catch you all on Flippy Flop. Adios.